Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Gary Turner here. I hope you're doing well, founder of Hexo Change, and I'm about to share one of my latest blogs, aka this vlog, with you. And first of all, I just want to acknowledge and appreciate the bravery, courage, incredible wisdom of this human being who is Elsie Luna, a 13-year-old anti-oppression activist. If you're on Twitter, do go and check out the 34 tweet thread that she shared a week or so ago. That's going to be the basis of this conversation, or my exploration with you today, which is a blog that I wrote wrote it yesterday, I think. So I'm just doing the narration. I always like to narrate the blog. I do that live so that I can capture it on my YouTube channel, but also it increases accessibility for those that may not want to, for those that may want to digest the content in a different medium. So let me just share the blog with you. As you can see, this Elsie is the inspiration, a personal moment of clarity fueled by a 13-year-old activist. That activist being Elsie Luna. So what I'm going to do is take you through, just shared Nikki's thread from when we had a chat the other day. So the one I wanted to share is this one on this occasion. If you want to subscribe and get regular updates on blogs, vlogs, live events, speaking events, such as the one I'm speaking at tomorrow with Yetunde Hoffman as part of her Enjoyable Life series, feel free to sign up at hexochangenow.com. But I will now get on with the blog in question. So Samantha Sapaya, my spiritual guide, who has been working with me for over the past 12 plus months to help me sense into and join up the interconnections and of many systems that I am part of, i.e. my day job in the chemical industry, my personal life, oppression taking place in the global south, my role within that by the choices and my day job, the supply chain that I am deeply embedded with in all areas of my life, and so much more. That's all what Sam's been helping me with amazingly the last 12 plus months. She made me aware of this 34 tweet thread from Elsie Luna, a 13-year-old anti-oppression activist. Now, I'm resharing that post today. So if you go onto the blog on hexochangenow.com, you'll be able to click through. And as I believe we all need to see and listen to Elsie's message. Now, I only emphasize Elsie's age because of her depth of wisdom and insight at that age. So I was myopically focused on trying to work out how to kick a football straight and avoid being beaten up when I was 13. That's not a joke. I was repeatedly bullied between age 12 and 13. Now, these are the particular areas, if you're not on Twitter, Sam shares a range of quotes in her post, but I add some of the ones that really struck me. So again, this is from Elsie's tweet thread. There are more immediate things which are happening with other types of oppression, which we aren't looking at all. We have to stop all of the racism and oppression generally, because that's how it started. That's how it works. If there was no oppression, there would be no climate crisis, because we would not care about the people who are getting hurt by it right now. And it's not just the global south. Climate crises are everywhere, but mostly in the global south. Climate change is formed around racism because it's saying, as long as we're not getting harmed, and as long as we're safe here, wherever it is, like England, the US, we can exploit the lands of other people. Just want to offer you and I, and all of us who might be watching this back, a moment. Just let that sink in. And I'm going to repeat that last one because I think it's so critically important. Climate change is formed around racism because it's saying, as long as we're not getting harmed, as long as we're safe here, wherever it is, like England, the US, we can exploit the lands of other people. Remember, Elsie's 13 and much wiser than most people I know, including me. This is our next generation speaking. This is Elsie speaking. What if your children and or the youth within your sphere of influence are thinking and feeling what Elsie is, but they're not able and or willing to voice it? What are we leaving them behind when our time's up if we are not doing the work of joining the dots between our daily lives our jobs, and the oppression that underpins it all in the West. Now, leadership is important. Culture is important. Listening is important. Mental health is important. Vulnerability is important. People are important. These are all areas that I've dived deep into a lot over the past several years alongside my international sales job. But what I now realize, and this has been really spurred on by this incredible tweet thread of Elsie's, is that all of that's for nothing, truly nothing, if nature, the very planet that gives us life, and those most being oppressed by our ways are not front and center of everything we are working towards, designing and doing. Yes, we have lives to lead and jobs to do, but to what end? Really, to what end? What can we imagine, speak up about, suggest within our current work and life contexts that can increasingly center those most oppressed and with an increasing focus on life-giving nature? This is a new space for me, a clarity that I knew was emerging, but has accelerated a lot in the past couple of months. It's hard at times, trust me. There's a lot of letting go of fear, letting go of comfort, letting go of avoidance, etc., and remembering of curiosity to be done. But it really is the only way that I can see that makes any sense. The full tweet thread can be found here. And again, it's in the link if you look on YouTube as well. So today it's an invitation from me, really, to digest and sit in the above, a teaching from a wise 13-year-old Elsie. My invitation personally is please stay in the discomfort. Let yourself feel what you need to feel, and then stay curious. And then my question for you is, I wonder what you'll do next. Now, this has been a journey, like I say, Sam's been helping me over the last 14 months on a one-to-one basis. But over the last 7 years, I've been progressively emerging and becoming and getting more comfortable in this space of it's not all about me. The socialized narrative that it's all about us getting the grades, getting the life, getting a nice job, getting married, retiring. It's a totally false narrative, all at the expense of way too many people in different parts of the world. So that's why I'm looking to try and develop and co-create with you, if you're open and willing, a space, a dreaming space, a place that is there to reimagine healthy, life-giving presents and futures. And these graphics, always created for Hexo Change by the incredible Anna Denardin, an amazing regenerative practitioner, artist, and facilitator based in Brazil in the global south. So if having access to a brave space to explore topics like what we're sharing in this particular post and blog appeals to you, I'm looking to co-create with you some dream spaces. It's a little bit of a play on the word dream, but they're brave global north spaces that center the global south. A space to connect, to reflect, to share, to learn, to reimagine, and most importantly, to take action. So if you're interested, do drop me a line at gary.turner@hexochangenow.com. And I'm wishing you a safe, curious, and connected morning, afternoon, and evening ahead. Again, referencing amazing Anna for all of her artwork and how she helps me embody this emergence that's coming through me and what is starting to wrap Hexo Change as whatever that needs to become in the future as a facilitative organization. And indeed, actually, this has emerged literally in the last couple of days. For me as well, is like, what is this Hexo Change? Yes, I'm absolutely still deeply grateful and I'm enjoying many aspects of my day job working in the corporate sphere. But Hexo Change, it is me. It's a visual, it's an embodiment of the whole of Gary, not just the corporate Gary. So let me speak a little bit about what is this Hexo Change? What is it becoming? What is it emerging? And in essence, what I believe it's going to become, and again, it's going to become a self-organized, co-creative bridge to healing, I believe, between the global north and global south. So Hexo Change is a global south centering change practice, holding space and facilitating reconnection to ourselves, one another, and systems at large, but serving you with the space to reimagine and co-create the next generation of life-giving organizational design. That last bit is so critically important. I'm literally hot off the press. Just been making a note. If you look at, McKinsey's, 7 model, if you look at the Galbraith star model, if you look at Lewin's, refreeze model, even if you look at Teal, even if you look at holocracy, sociocracy, all of these models, they are very well intentioned. They are very starting to become more progressive and connected and human, which is brilliant. But they are all global north centered. If they are not centering the global south communities that are currently being oppressed by, all of us, every single one of us, whether we've got a mobile phone, if you own a car, if you're wearing clothes, there is oppression baked into those products that we use day in, day out in the global north. If we are not designing our organizations and our products to be global south centered, we will just recolonize the next generation of inverted commas progression, whether it's sustainable airline fuel, whether it's progressive organizational design. If it is not global south centered, my assertion, we will continue to oppress and dominate the people that most need to be centered at this critical time as we try and recover from climate change and the damage that we've done over the last 100 years. Just look at Elsie's words. Just go back and look at what I've just shared from Elsie. Go and have a look at Elsie's tweet thread. Follow Elsie's incredible wisdom. If we are not centering the global south, we are on a path to destruction. That is my summary message. This is new for me. It's coming through me. It's emergence live as I share this message. Lots of work to be done. Don't need to know the answers yet. I just need to know that the next step is we need to be reimagining and challenging everything in the global north. How we lead, what we look at in HR circles, what leadership looks like, the products we're designing, everything. This is beyond circularity. Circular economy is very important, absolutely. But is circular economy centering the global south or not? Interesting times ahead. Welcome any thoughts, challenges, of course. And of course, I would love to be involved in any conversations and invite you again into those dream spaces, should that be of interest. And again, what does dream actually mean? It is to decenter ourselves, again, in the global north, to center those in the global south. It's around degrowth to some extent. We need to be reducing the amount of consumption. It needs to be reducing the amount of stuff we're buying. So it's decentering ourselves in the north. It is degrowth. Then we're looking at the reconnecting, it's re-energizing, regenerating our human spirit. It's coming alive again. It's a whole person outside of the matrix that we've bought into for far too long. It's also looking to rewild our connection to ourselves, others, and systems. Let's reimagine that curiosity, rewild that curiosity in ourselves and in one another. And we're also looking to aim. The aim part of this is, as part of dream, is to take action. We need to be taking actionable steps individually and collectively. And the idea with these dream spaces is that we can go away, come back together and say, I tried this last week, or I tried that last month. This worked, this didn't. Almost like agile, but global, south-centered agile. What did I learn about? How do I learn about the fact that this particular product I use day in, day out is actually causing harm somewhere else in the world? What am I going to try and do differently myself? I'm massively work in progress in this, but I really do want to hold a space with you to allow us to investigate, explore, and keep the global south centered in everything we do all of the time. Hope that's interesting. Let me know. Let us know your thoughts on Elsie's amazing tweet thread and her wisdom. And also hope to connect. Do hope you'll sign up at hexochangenow.com and be part of the journey towards global self-centering of organizational design and society at large. Take care, everyone.